Hey, guy with no name here. I just wanted to film more of a quick kind of reaction to Ahsoka episode 8. If you're new to the channel, this is a different format. I've done videos like this before, but normally I have things a bit more formal, but just because I want to make this a non-spoiler video and there's not a ton to talk about without getting into spoilers, and I don't even want to allude to certain things because you'll know, oh, I can kind of put, like one of my pet peeves are non-spoiler videos where people are like, oh man, that twist ending. So then going into it, it's like, well, I know there's a twist ending, so it's not a spoiler, but it prepares you. So just in case you haven't gotten around to seeing it, I am going to put effort into doing a spoiler-filled just discussion of the whole series as a whole, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, Ahsoka episode 8, it was directed by Rick Famuyiwa, Famuyiwa, I think. But he directed, I think he's directed about 6 Mandalorian episodes now between seasons 1, 2, and 3. So he's definitely more of a seasoned live-action Star Wars director. Also, the title is The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord, which is kind of weird because obviously, I mean, I don't know what that is except a reference to the Chronicles of Narnia, but I didn't really get any Chronicles of Narnia vibes out of any of this. I don't know. But, so yeah, not getting into spoilers, but obviously in the last episode, I will be spoiling the last episode, so if you have not seen it, just your warning right now. But, I'm glad we get to see a lot more of Ezra because I really wasn't sure where it was going exactly. I mean, the story kind of revolved on going to find Thrawn and also Ezra, but I was kind of afraid that it was just so Ahsoka and Sabine driven with Hera, kind of as a tertiary character, that I was afraid there wasn't really room for Ezra. So even if he appeared, either he might, some people were theorizing he might die, and I was like, please don't let that happen. I mean, if you've watched Star Wars Rebels, that's 4 seasons of a show that he's arguably the main character in. So for them to introduce him in live action and have him either sidelined and or killed pretty early on, I would have been pretty disappointed in that. Luckily, that's not the case. He's a big part of this episode, so that's awesome. Also, I had an issue with just some of the decisions Ezra made, and I think I'll just, keeping it vague, he makes a decision that kind of makes me not as annoyed with some decisions he made the previous episode. And yeah, ultimately, I kind of talked about this. I was like, I expect it to be a long episode, so when me and my wife were watching it, and I saw it was like 40-something minutes, I was like, well, I don't know how that's gonna work out, I mean, I was hoping they weren't going to wrap everything up and that it would set up future Star Wars content, especially whether that's a season 2 or the rumored Dave Filoni movie, and what that's going to be about. But when it was 40-something minutes, then suddenly my worry went, well, I know they're not going to wrap it up that quick, but is it going to feel too fast? And I will say it didn't feel too fast to me. It's hard to say how I felt exactly about the episode because part of me liked it, or I guess better way to say it, I liked parts of the episode and then other parts I did not like as much. There were some scenes that seemed to be drawn out, or scenes that were more of the same, like the characters something happens, then they go somewhere else, and then the same thing happens. And after a while, it got to be a bit just like prolonged. And I said this about episode 3 and episode 4, that I think it would have been better if those episodes were a bit condensed and combined into one, because it felt like basically a longer episode cut in half. With this, it's not as obvious, but I do think that, I mean, I've heard mixed feelings on both episode 7 and episode 8, and after thinking about it more, I kind of feel like maybe it would have been better if they condensed some of the stuff that happened in episode 7. They especially could have condensed episode 8, I believe, and combined it into one. That might have made for a kick-butt season finale. But at the end of the day, I liked it, but it was not kick-butt to me, and there were certain decisions that were awesome. There were certain things I was surprised about. but then again, then there were other things that, I'll just say Thrawn is not as brilliant as he should have been. And I was kind of hoping for this to be Thrawn's Empire Strikes Back version of the show, that it would end, the heroes are decisively defeated and he gets away and it's kind of open-ended, but still good, not like super dark or anything. Like Empire Strikes Back was dark, but it definitely ended on a hopeful note, even though it was kind of like, oh shoot, the bad guys basically won in this one. So didn't quite reach that level, but in the interest of time and not just, I can't talk about a lot without getting the spoilers, I'll just end it there. That ultimately, it was a mixed bag for me. That there were things that I loved about it, things that I liked, things that I didn't like, and I'm definitely happy they didn't try to wrap everything up. I'm curious what's going to happen. I am leaning more towards them doing a season 2. I mean, that seems more likely than where we left off on. I think that's going to be hard to address and kind of wrap up and lead into a full-on movie that is designed to kind of end this whole era, supposedly. So yeah, I think they're leaning towards the season 2. So, and I'm happy about that. I think Ahsoka as a whole, it's one of the best shows on Disney Plus for Star Wars content, live action wise. So I'm probably going to do a video ranking all the Star Wars series and talking about, how good each of them are. But anyways, don't take up any more of your time. Be on the lookout. I got a Loki review coming up for episode 1 of season 2. That's, as I'm filming, it's about to come out, so I'm about to go watch that. I also have episodes, non-spoiler reviews of episodes 1 through 7 of Ahsoka. And then I recently, if you like ranking videos, I've ranked the DCU movies. I've ranked the Expendables movies. So, I'm a new channel. I got a lot of different content that I want to make. But in the meantime, I'd appreciate if you guys check out my other stuff. This is Guy with No Name, signing off.